Welcome you once again to our today's class. Remember, I promised us in our last class that we'll be treating how to calculate the perimeter of a given sector. So we are going to learn how to derive the formula for that. Then from the derivation of the formula, we'll now go into solving problems using that very word formula. Okay. First of all, let's sketch a circle. Okay, this is a circle. Now, what do you understand by a circle? I know most of you are familiar with this very snack known as pizza, right? Pizza is usually circular in shape like this, and it's usually divided into different parts like this. From the center, divided like this. Okay. Now, each portion of this, just like this shape you are seeing here, that look like a triangle, but not really a triangle. Okay. This is what referred to as a sector. Okay. Now, how do we find the perimeter of this sector? Now, let's respect this sector again. Okay. From this center of this circle, a line drawn from the center of the circle to the circumference is what? A radius. Likewise, a line drawn from the center again to the other side of the circumference is another word, radius, isn't it? Now, altogether, we have two radii here. Okay. And the angle of division between what? Between them. Okay. Now, if you are asked to find the perimeter of this sector, meaning that you are asked to find the total length from this place. Let's say here is center O, and here is what A, and this point here is what B. Okay. To find perimeter means to measure the length from here to here. Okay. And measure the length of this arc from here to this very point, and the length from this B to this point what O. Okay. Adding everything together gives us what? The perimeter of this word sector. Okay, meaning that I'm going to have this here is our A, so here is our word B, here is our A, and here is O. Here is the angle theta. So how do we find the perimeter of this? To find perimeter of this, simply this side, length from here to here is radius, right? So we have that perimeter of the sector. That will be equal to what? The radius we have here plus this what? Radius that we have here. Then plus the length of what? Plus the length of what? Of the arc. This arc has the arc what? AB. Okay? Now if you remember clearly, we've learned how to derive the length of an arc in our previous classes. Okay? So from here now, radius plus radius. How many radius do you have here? That is what? 2 radii, right? Then plus the length of an arc, which I told you that is a fraction of the angle of what? Circumference of a circle. Meaning that the angle here is theta, which is this angle here I said, okay? All over what? 360. Then multiply with the circumference of the circle, same as what? The perimeter of that what? Circle A times what? 2 by what? R. So this very formula you are seeing here now is what we refer to as what? As the perimeter of the what? Of a sector, okay? So the whole of this formula you are seeing, which is 2r plus theta over 360 times 2 pi r. That is what said to be the formula for calculating the perimeter of a given sector. So having known this formula now, any question that you come across that requires you to calculate the perimeter of a given sector, obviously you should know that you have to add the two radii, okay, the radius from this side and the radius from this other side, plus the length of that word arc. Okay, so if any of the parameter is not given, it will be easier for you to look for that very parameter. Okay, if the perimeter is given and the radius is not given, you can substitute the perimeter, okay, here, and the value of the angle will also be given. If the radius is not given, then you can compute and find the value of the word r. Then if the value of your r is given and the angle at the center is not given, you might be told to find the value of the angle at the center. The same thing applies. Complete all the parameters given, exclude one that is not given. Then at the end of your sum, you make the very one that is not given the subject and leave it as your final word answer. So we hope to see in our next class where we'll be solving some practical questions relating to the application of this very formula we just derived. So bye bye. See you in our next class.